All right, Tampa, Florida, cost of living here right at the end of 2023, going into 2024. Let's talk about it. I'm Sam, and this is the Living in Tampa channel. We make these videos for you about what it's like to live and move to the Tampa, Florida area. We're also a team of realtors and would love a chance to earn your real estate business more than we love making these videos for you and hoping you get value out of them. We would love a call, text, or email from you so we can connect and see if we can help you in the future. So when I moved here in 2020, my brother-in-law and his family moved from New York at the same time. They were living like in Manhattan, in Chelsea, like on 6th. Their rent up there was $4,100 a month for a little tiny apartment. Of course, it's New York City, and that always seemed so high to me. But with interest rates what they are right now and home prices what they are right now, I have plenty of clients that are paying around that amount. Yeah, they're getting a lot more. They've got, all kinds of the benefits of owning versus renting, but they also have the costs and the risk of owning instead of renting. So I thought this comparison was actually helpful. Like right now, if you were to buy a $700,000 house in Tampa, this would be your monthly payment. If you were to rent a 2-bedroom apartment in Manhattan, you could do it for about $4,000. Now, maybe some of you are gonna hop on here and tell me I'm wrong about the rent prices. Rents have been going up a little bit in New York, but they did come down quite a bit during the pandemic. Wow, I'm actually cold out here. I'm out here at the beach and it's kind of chilly. I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt and I don't like it. I want it to be warm all the time, and maybe you think that's boring, but I want it that way. So home prices is a big factor, and that's the biggest kind of overarching factor that is contributing to these higher prices. Interest rates is a big subset of that, right? So interest rates right now are around 7.5%. There are some ways to get that lower. We'll get into that. But let's look at the change over the past 3 years. So 3 years ago, I bought my home in Tarpon Springs, and we paid $292 for that house at a 2.7% interest rate. I'm renovating it right now. I think I'll sell it for around $475. So you can see from $300,000 to $475. That is over 60% growth. But in that time, the interest rates have gone from 2.7 to 7.5. The interest rates have tripled during that time. So not only are home prices high, but everything else is going up too. And interest rates are a huge factor in your payment. Most of your payments for like the first half of your mortgage are interest. Like the vast majority of them, you're paying the bank, paying the bank, paying the bank. You actually pay off that loan really slowly. So people ask me all the time, what do I think is going to happen in the market? There's a couple things. First of all, inventory is really low right now. Just in general, there's not a lot of houses to look at when you go out to look. A lot of sellers are kind of waiting to sell until they could buy at a better interest rate, because oftentimes when people are selling a house, they have to buy one as well. So sellers are kind of sitting still. But there's this constant cycle of supply and demand. When supply is low, demand naturally goes a little bit higher because there are fewer choices. When supply goes higher, demand goes a little bit lower. That is a big factor. Also, when prices go up, demand goes down a little bit. When prices go down, demand goes up a little bit. So we have these cycles that are happening, but people still have to move and live somewhere. These are necessities. These aren't luxuries. Now, you could rent, but the inventory of that is also relatively low. And maybe the whole thing will just crash. What does that mean? In a realistic sense, I think that would mean prices just come down 20 or 30%. I don't think prices come down 60% back to where they were in 2020. A lot of things would have to be going wrong for that to happen. Okay, so home prices, they've gone up, interest rates have gone up at the same time, but inventory is still really low, and it's kind of a challenging market to buy houses. We're still finding deals, plenty of deals, especially with new construction right now. If you're interested in that, call, text, or email anytime. Okay, insurance is another thing. I have this client who's an investor, and they have a few million to invest right now. They want to invest down here, and they brought up this issue recently of insurance. Yeah, homeowners insurance is kind of chaos down here. Their question though was, what if I can't get insurance? Now that's not gonna be the case. You can always get insurance. Now it might just be too expensive to afford it. And so maybe in that scenario, you're saying you can't get it, but it is available. Even if it is Citizens, the state subsidized company that is backing it, it's still available. And we've talked about in other videos, these insurance companies leaving. Yeah, they leave occasionally. If I owned an insurance company, I would get the hell out of Florida. But honestly, I like living here, so I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. So Citizens may be the only option for many. And Citizens does kind of get rid of some customers occasionally, but they have to be able to find quotes that are less than 20% of an increase in the premium. And sometimes people end up staying with Citizens because they can't find a more affordable option. And when you're thinking about your insurance, maybe you're thinking about this on a specific house, or maybe your lender has sent you a pre-approval and it has an estimated insurance amount on it. In general, those are pretty accurate. Sometimes they can be way off. Sometimes they're, double. And it's not $1,000, it's $2,000 a year. So once you are considering a property, it'd be good to get some insurance quotes, or find out, call us, we'll help you navigate that, honestly. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is jobs and wages. So honestly, I feel a little bit out of touch with this kind of thing, right? I work for myself, I find customers on YouTube. I'm kind of strange in this whole equation, but I know that unemployment is incredibly low in Tampa. So it means people have some work to do. It doesn't mean they're fully employed, nor does it mean they're making enough money to get by. So those are very different things. Unemployment being low doesn't mean people are making enough money. It means people have some jobs. Now, a lot of jobs are really low paying jobs. There's not like a big industry that has come out in Tampa, nor is it a big draw for big employers, big companies. A lot of the jobs here are servicing the community and servicing the population. So although the data says that unemployment's super low, I know people aren't making that much more money than they were in the past. And on top of that, expenses are so high. Just the standard expenses for life are so high right now. I've been trying to figure out how much we spend on groceries, and it's honestly absurd. Now we have kids that are eating too, and we buy mostly like nicer food, organic food, but it blows my mind how expensive it is right now compared to 2 years ago, compared to 4 years ago. It's more than double. And so it looks like consumer spending is high, unemployment is low, but people might not be making enough money to afford their more expensive basic necessities that indicate that consumer spending is higher. It's all kind of frustrating. One overall overarching in this thing, if you are moving here, make sure you have a good job. That's it. Whether you're applying for jobs down here, or whether you're able to transfer your job and do it remote or do it in person here, it's really important to make sure that is set up on your way down. So cost of living overall is so much higher. When I first started making these videos, Florida seemed affordable. Now I don't know if anywhere seems affordable, but Florida seems not affordable. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people that can afford it. Obviously, I live here comfortably. A lot of you that reach out to me are excited to move here, so it's very doable. And maybe it's not even more expensive than where you live right now, but let's just acknowledge that it doesn't always make sense. I know this is a bit of a random cost of living update. I like to hop on and do these just to kind of track what changes from year to year. If you have any questions, comments about this, I'd love to hear from you. Our phone number and email are right there on the screen and in the description down below. Thanks for coming by.